The topic that I have chosen to explore is a part of the Victims of Crime laws of Victoria, and this topic is murder. So, what is murder? Well, the definition of murder states that murder is the unlawful killing of another person with malice aforethought by a person who is of the age of discretion, which is 10 years old and over, and is of sound mind. This definition describes the elements of murder within it. However, I will come to that shortly. The basic principles of murder involve two main components, which are actus reus, which is causing death, and mens rea, which is the intention and recklessness to do the crime. These are the two factors that must be proven beyond reasonable doubt. For example, someone that is extremely mentally ill cannot be held criminally responsible as they lack the ability to form mens rea to commit the offence. There are three main ways to prove a murder. This includes intention to kill, recklessness, causing death, and felony murder. In order to go more into detail of how to prove a murder, let's discuss the elements of murder. These are the four elements that the prosecution must prove beyond reasonable doubt. First of all, the accused should have caused the victim's death. They do not need to be the only or direct or immediate cause of the death. The act just needs to be a significant cause. Although sometimes a judge may get a case in which the victim had died from trying to escape the violence of the accused, and if they find that victim overreacted to the accused conduct, then this element will not be satisfied, and the accused will not be guilty of murder. Secondly, the accused act needs to be conscious, voluntarily, and deliberate. The term conscious excludes the act of an unconscious person, such as a sleepwalker. The term voluntarily means that the act which killed the victim must be an act that the accused had control over. The term deliberate excludes accidental acts, such as the consequences of falling over or fumbling an item. Also, the accused needs to have intended to kill or cause really serious injury. And finally, the accused should have killed the victim without lawful justification or excuse. This is because a person is not guilty of murder if the killing was done with lawful justification or excuse, such as in self-defense or under duress. So as I mentioned before, the definition of murder involves all of these three elements, however includes one more factor that must be considered before someone is convicted of murder. This is that the accused must be 10 years old or older. During a case, an important aspect of proving a crime such as a murder is placing a burden of proof on the victim or the accused. In criminal cases, the burden of proof is usually placed on the prosecution, who must demonstrate that the defendant is guilty before a jury may convict him or her. It consists of clear and convincing evidence of the ability to prove beyond reasonable doubt. A murder can also be proven through witness testimony, physical evidence, which is sometimes found in forensics, and circumstantial evidence. Once the accused is proven guilty of a murder, he or she will receive a punishment. The punishment for murder could range from life imprisonment to a few years in prison. The length of the imprisonment is fixed by the court and depends on many factors of the murder. Now let's discuss the Cy Walsh case. Phil Walsh was murdered and his 26-year-old son Cy has been charged with his murder. The case is still being solved and will reappear in court in September. Detectives are looking into whether Cy had an addiction to drugs and if this played a part in the crime. This will affect the element of the accused's conscience. A lot of witness testimony continues to run, and a taxi driver who may have seen Cy near a scene of drugs has contacted the police. A photo had appeared of smoking pipe that was taken from a car parked at the Walsh home in an evidence bag by the police. Cy had previously also had fought with local authorities in Peru in 2012. Mr. Walsh and his son seemed to have a rough patch during that time, and as he said, he was trying to reconnect with his son. This provides vague circumstantial evidence of the murder.